Shri Akal, welcome back. We're talking to Mr. Ravinder Singh Bhalla, who serves as City Councilman in Hoboken, New Jersey. So now, Ravinder, tell us, when you were running for the office, okay, you were going through the elections and everything, I've actually heard that, first of all, you were one of the first Sikhs to be in this position. You are the first Sikh to be in this position. But nale hi, you were actually knocking on everyone's door. Tusi jaake logan de darwaze te knock kar rahe sige to get yourself involved, to have them come out and vote, which is I think a big thing. And the reason main ek कहनी it's a big thing is क्योंकि काफी लोगों ਨੂੰ ਹੁੰਦਾ है पहली गल तुसी सरदार हो, you look different, so you feel different. You might have a hesitancy in you, but if you're thinking of going into that side, you cannot have that barrier. You cannot think that you look different. Tanu us tarah hi feel hona chahiye jis tarah baaki sareyan nu. So how did you feel jadon tusi you're going around knocking on doors ya jis tarah tusi ke bus stop te jaake you're doing all this? How did you feel about that?
That's a very good question. This is it was almost a double obstacle for me because it's daunting to begin with to knock on a door and introduce yourself and say, my name is Ravinder Bhalla, I'm running for City Council, and I'd like your support, here's some information about me. But also as a Sikh, you don't know how you're going to be perceived by anybody who you encounter. And voter contact is critical in any election, especially more local elections. So I think it was a good experience, especially as a Sikh, because it gave the average person a chance to see that I can speak to issues, I can connect with people, and I'm also a Sikh American. So one thing that also helped, in addition to the voter contact, the knocking on doors, and Gurmeet, we had to knock on hundreds and hundreds of doors. We made hundreds and thousands of phone calls. I can't tell you how many people I met in the course of a campaign.
Wow.
But one of the really good things for me as a Sikh is because when people see your turban and beard, they wonder, is he from America? Who is he? And one thing that really helped me was that during the debates, we had live television debates, all 12 candidates. That gave me a chance to, on television, have the electorate, all Hoboken voters, see me debate the issues with all of the other 11 candidates. And after those debates, people would come to me on the streets and say, you were the only one who made sense, or we thought you did the best out of the 12. And that was a good way to break that perception barrier, that they see a Sikh, they might have certain misconceptions about who that person is. And I think it actually was an asset. I think being a Sikh was an asset, not a liability in running for office. And I think the fact that out of the 12 candidates, I received the highest number of votes really shows that being a Sikh did not present any liability. If anything, it only helped me.
Excellent. That's very good to hear, and that's very encouraging to hear, especially for a lot of young kids, a lot of young boys who are at that age sometimes when they're debating that, being a Sikh, is it a good thing, bad thing? I hear it all the time, but it's good to hear from you that this actually helped you. Of course you stood out, but it definitely helped you.
Stood out in a good way.
Exactly.
And people received it very well. And Gurmeet, even it's not just politics. My day profession is an attorney, and when I went to law school, when I graduated from law school, I wondered, will any law firms hire me? Will I get any clients? How will I be perceived in front of juries? How will a judge perceive me?
Wow. And
I can say, after practicing for over a decade, being a Sikh has never been a problem with being a successful attorney. So I've spoken before juries. I've tried cases before judges. I've had thousands of clients, and this is a country where you don't have to sacrifice your Sikhi to be successful. And I can say that as an attorney as well as a public official. If anything, it helps you, it gives you strength, and people receive it well.
That's really good to hear, and it gives a really good sense of pride and joy when we hear that, because it's such an encouraging thing for a lot of people out there.
Well, we should all be proud to be Sikhs, because it's our fundamental being of who we are.
Exactly.
And we carry it, visibly as well.
Yeah.
So it's important to remember that is our fundamental core, and we should be proud as Sikhs.
That's good to hear. Now, also tell me, when you were running for the office, you already told us, a lot of people, because of the way you were, it broke the barrier when you did the debates. How was the response from your, Sikh community or Indian community? Let me not just say Sikh community, just Indian community. When you were running for the office, what kind of support did you get from there?
Well, I received a lot of support from the Sikh community, not just in New Jersey, but nationwide.
Okay.
And it was an investment. There was no guarantee. This was an experiment, a political experiment. In Hoboken, the only Sikhs that I'm aware of are myself, my wife, my brother, his wife, and a handful of other people. So when I was running for office, people in the political community in Hoboken would say, how many Sikhs live in Hoboken? Or how many Indians live in Hoboken? And, I would say very few. And they would say, well, how do you expect to get elected? Where are you going to draw your votes from? And people were saying, unless you're Hispanic or Italian or Irish, senior citizen, labor, unless you fall into some category. You can't really succeed. And I didn't know if that was correct or not. I thought maybe that was the conventional wisdom, and that's why I did not receive support initially from people in Hoboken, because people thought that I didn't have a chance to be successful. But the Sikh community believed in me. They invested in me, in my campaign. They invested resources. Just the fact that a Sikh had taken that leap of faith to run for office, they were proud of that. I received contributions from California, Florida, all over the country.
Really?
And that really gave me the ability to get my message out to the people. And again, I think the result really turned conventional wisdom on its head. When people said that, where are you going to draw votes for? And you come out with more votes than anyone in the race. It shows that in this day and age, if you work hard and if you make those phone calls, knock on those doors, put the time commitment, you can do it.
You can do it. That's good to hear. It's nice to hear that you have people from other states who had nothing to do with Hoboken, New Jersey, who are supporting you. That's good to hear.
It's a testament to the Sikh community.
It is.
That people who did not even know who I was were willing to invest in what I was trying to do. And it's something I dearly appreciate.
That's one thing I will never forget either. And I think that's really important because, in the past, I have done certain campaigns. And you're right. It's amazing that you think that, oh my God, how many Sikhs are out there? How many people are out there who are going to do this for me? But they come together. When you need them, they really do come together. So I'm really happy to hear this.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
You know what? We'll take a few calls and then we're going to be running into our break. And I want to hear about some of the issues that you have tackled.
Okay, thank you.
सत श्री अकाल जी, आप किथों कॉल कर रहे हो?
हाँ जी, हेलो जी।
Hello.
खालसा वाजी फतेह जी।
वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। How are you today?
Oh fine, मैं मनबीर सिंह बेकरफील्ड तो बोल रहे हो जी।
हाँ जी, सत श्री अकाल मनबीर सिंह जी, how's everything?
आप बहुत अच्छे एक बड़े उद्यमी नौजवान पढ़े लिखे रविंदर सिंह जी नो लेके आए जी।
हाँ जी।
हाँ जी, वह बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है ना दी गल्ला सुन के।
हाँ जी।
इतनी छोटी उम्र में इन्होंने कितना अच्छा अपना कैंपेन की गल सुन के मैंने बहुत अच्छा लगा। How it just proves that it's not after some time, it's a talent, it's a wisdom, it's your actually interest and sensibility which is above anything else.
Absolutely.
Doing that, sometimes I think about myself, the place where I practice, there's no Sikh family. All are Hispanic, and I even don't know a word of Spanish. So the reason I'm doing very well is because of the care. They see that you are careful and you take care of them very well. I think that's so important.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
I think I'm going to have all the youth should see this, that how Ravinder Singh Bhalla has proven that, see, if you are sincere and hardworking, you can go. I mean, sky is the limit. And I really congratulate him for his achievement.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
There should be councilmen all over. There should be many Sikh councilmen in different cities of USA.
Great. Thank you so much for that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. I know we're running into time for our break. We'll take a break and then we'll come back and take the other calls.
Okay.
And we'll be right back. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after.